Sharks have roamed our planet for over 450 million years, long before dinosaurs and even before trees existed. They've endured and survived 4 mass extinction events, proving their resilience as one of Earth's most ancient species. These incredible predators play a vital role in keeping ocean ecosystems balanced and healthy. Still, witnessing one up close is an unforgettable and often chilling experience. Here are 15 terrifying shark encounters ever caught on camera. Number 15. Shark eats cage. Off the coast of Stewart Island in New Zealand, this cage diver was mercifully spared a great white shark bite, but the cage, however, was not. We still know relatively little about white sharks, and the race is on for scientists to learn where and when they reproduce, as well as map out their hotspots or areas that they frequent the most. Enter cage diving. It's the great white's infamous notoriety that lures people halfway across the world to don thick neoprene, slide into the ocean in a cage, and duck below its icy and chum-slick surface at the barking commands of the skipper above. First started in Australia, cage diving grew up almost overnight in South Africa soon after the species was protected. Many one-time white shark hunters retired their fishing equipment in favor of diving cages, and today, it's a multi-million-dollar industry. But as you can see, it might be too close for comfort to be so near to a hungry great white. Often packaged as an adrenaline junkie's dream, most white shark cage diving encounters are, in fact, life-changing. Thousands of people each year, armed with varying amounts of fear or bravado, come face to face with the ocean's ultimate predator. Number 14. Snoody the Shark. Snoody is somewhat of a celebrity in these right parts of Florida, with many divers hoping to come across her while down here. Divers spent years trying to get a glimpse of the shark, and when they had the chance, they were amazed to see, when she did finally meet Snoody, that she does, in fact, look an awful lot like another famous shark, Bruce, the antagonist from Pixar's animated film Finding Nemo. She is the spitting image of Snoody. Lemon sharks are a species of sharks that can be mainly found in the Atlantic and the Pacific. Lemon shark species are known to reach sexual maturity from 12 to 16 years of age. They're called lemon sharks because of their yellow-brown skin color, which helps them to camouflage. Found in shallow water regions of southern Brazil and Baja California, lemon sharks do not possess any direct threat to humans. They're extremely social species and track their prey by using their receptors, which help them detect the electric pulses generated by their prey. As for Snoody, she's a well-known shark in Florida waters for the way her jaw is set, causing her to constantly look like she's smiling. She's always smiling and looks happy to be around. She also has a crimped tail, but it doesn't seem to bother her, and we love her even more for it. Number 13. Great white in pond. Great white sharks have become a fact of life along Cape Cod in Massachusetts, where beaches were temporarily shuttered more than 100 times because of shark sightings this summer. But that wasn't always the case. It all started when a 14-foot great white got stuck in a salt pond near the Elizabeth Islands. The 1,700-pound female shark's 2-week stay in the shallow water near Nowshon Island was also largely the beginning of the Cape's complicated new relationship with the ocean's apex predators. The largest great white discovered was 2,640 pounds, caught off the coast of Australia in 1959. There have been reports of a 25-foot great white shark, with the 21-footer being the longest ever caught. The average size is about 15 feet. On the east coast of North America, they range from Newfoundland and the Gulf of St. Lawrence down into the Gulf of Mexico. However, they're not a common sight anywhere in that range. Experts estimate as many as a dozen may migrate into New England waters in summer. Some may also live here year-round in offshore waters. While there had been scattered reports of great whites in the area over the years, it was the first time that many residents, and even some state officials, had ever seen a living, breathing great white shark up close. Number 12. Scuba Encounter. Scuba divers in Bali were left terrified after they suddenly encountered an 18-foot-long great white shark. Environmental management students were exploring the reef when other divers started frantically pointing at the shark. The strange thing is that great whites have never before been seen in Indonesia, as they're a cold water species, so it was a strange phenomenon. It does lead us all to wonder, what is a great white doing in Indonesian waters? Changing ocean currents could mean ocean-dwelling creatures like this were being displaced from their normal environment. While white sharks were not documented off the Indonesia coastline, their global distribution does include tropical waters. Sharks are cold-blooded, but great white sharks have specialized vessels allowing them to hunt in both cold and warm water. Experts have said this allows them to lift their body temperature above that of the water around them. In warm waters, like those in Indonesia, for example, their higher blood temperature can allow them to hunt warm-blooded animals more easily. Footage showed the dangerous predator moved slowly through the water as about a dozen divers watched on in shock. Despite its fearsome reputation, the great white then disappeared into the murky blue without incident. Number 11. Hammerhead headbutt. One hammerhead that dwarfs all others has terrorized the Florida coastline, and a group of divers went to track down the monster known as Old Hitler. He wasn't too hard to find. The big beast literally headbutted the diver's hand. Great hammerhead sharks are apex predators and can be found worldwide in coastal warm waters that are 68 degrees or higher. Unlike scalloped hammerhead sharks, great hammerhead sharks are solitary and migrate long distances, upwards of 756 miles, alone. Like other hammerhead species, great hammerhead sharks have long, serrated teeth and use their hammer-shaped heads to detect and eat prey. Their heads are equipped with electrical receptors that can sense potential prey, including those hiding in the sand. Great hammerheads primarily feed on prey on the seafloor, such as stingrays, octopus, squid, crustaceans, and other sharks. Some of them use their hammerheads to aid in hunting. It's been observed that they actually use their heads to ram into and pin down stingrays, forcing them into the ocean floor. This repeated action eventually tires out the prey, making it easier for the sharks to eat them. Now it's time for today's topic. In June 2025, two marine scientists conducting a coastal survey on the remote shores of Oregon's Cannon Beach stumbled upon a discovery that has since baffled experts worldwide. Lying partially in the surf was the carcass of an enormous shark, unlike any recorded species. Measuring nearly 50 feet in length, its body had features reminiscent of a great white, but its proportions were far more massive, with an unusually elongated dorsal fin and a jaw structure lined with serrated teeth far larger than normal. Locals who gathered to watch the investigation speculated that it could be a surviving prehistoric predator, possibly related to the Megalodon, believed to have gone extinct over 3 million years ago. The shark's skin was heavily scarred, suggesting violent encounters with other large marine creatures. Samples were collected under strict biohazard protocols, as some scientists raised concerns about potential environmental contamination or deep-sea adaptation anomalies. Theories range from climate change driving deep-sea species toward shore, to the possibility of an unknown lineage of giant sharks surviving in the Pacific's uncharted depths. Authorities have restricted access to the site, and official statements remain vague. Whether it's a remnant from Earth's ancient past or something entirely new, the mystery has left coastal residents uneasy about what else might be lurking beneath the waves. Number 10. Real big fish. An uneventful day fishing turned into the best day in the boat ever. The fisherman had just washed his hands in the water and stood up to cast out his bait when he noticed this magnificent beast. They were 1.6 nautical miles out from Merino Rocks off southern Australia. Although they weren't fishing for sharks, these apex predators are smart enough to also know where the fish are, so encounters like this, although rare, do happen. And white sharks are a protected species in South Australia. The protection law prohibits the taking, harming, harassment, sale, purchase, or possession of great white sharks. Plus, there's a penalty of up to $100,000 or 2 years imprisonment for individuals prosecuted in court. And at this very same location, a great white shark thought to be up to 25 feet long was sighted, forcing the cancellation of a nearby junior surf life-saving carnival and the evacuation of swimmers. A rescue helicopter was patrolling over Merino Rocks when crew members spotted the shark close to shore. There wasn't another sighting of the shark, as it moved fairly quickly into deeper water. Still, the surf life-saving carnival was called off early, and swimmers were evacuated, so it's a good thing these people are safely in a boat. Number 9. Surfer escapes. Australian surfer Matt Wilkinson recently had a serious run-in with a predator on the northern coast of New South Wales. A drone was flying in the area and caught the footage of an estimated 8-foot shark coming from the depths to stick its nose up to Wilco as he paddled. The drone is part of an $8 million investment by the New South Wales government and patrolling 34 beaches to assist lifeguards in protecting swimmers and surfers. Incredibly, Wilkinson has had a close encounter with a shark before. In 2015, he surfed the heat before a shark attacked another surfer in South Africa. As for this close encounter, the drone operator then warned lifeguards while using a loudspeaker on the drone to warn Wilco and other surfers to get out of the water. And the surfer was visibly shaken after looking at the drone footage. It's good to know the drones go up there and can see what we can't, and it makes swimmers and surfers feel more comfortable. It makes other people aware that there are sharks out there, Wilkinson said. He has been surfing with sharks his whole life and knows enough about them to know they don't have too much interest in humans. We're just glad today the shark reconsidered at the last second. Number 8. Bull shark. Scientists consider this creature to be the most dangerous shark in the world, the mighty bull shark. Bull sharks are hefty, heavily built animals, spanning lengths of around 7 feet, and with an average weight of 500 pounds. They also have the strongest bite force of any shark, up to 1,300 pounds of biting power. The bull shark is named after the fierce land animal and acquired this label for a couple of reasons. First, it has a stocky shape and a short, blunt snout. Second, bull sharks are notorious for their aggressive, unpredictable behavior and are known to headbutt their prey in a bullish fashion as a prelude to attacking, the bump and bite. Their aggression has earned them a fearsome reputation in coastal communities, with documented attacks occurring in both saltwater and freshwater environments. In fact, bull sharks are believed to be responsible for the infamous series of shark attacks along the New Jersey shore in 1916, which inspired parts of the movie Jaws. Researchers have tracked individuals swimming up major rivers like the Mississippi and even appearing in lakes, surprising locals who had no idea such predators could be lurking nearby. They're opportunistic hunters, taking down everything from fish and turtles to birds and even other sharks. Because they can tolerate a wide range of salinities, bull sharks often patrol estuaries and river mouths, places where human activity is common, leading to more encounters than with most other shark species. They often hunt in murky waters with low visibility, so they rely on their keen sense of smell to find prey. Once located, they'll charge their prey head-on and continue to bump and bite them until they're too exhausted to swim away. Probably one of the most incredible things about bull sharks, though, is their remarkable ability to survive in fresh water. Only around 5% of shark species can, and most of them only for a short time. Yet the bull shark may live here for years. They can travel huge distances and have been found as far as 2,500 miles from the sea, up to the Amazon River. Number 7. Whale shark. They're not whales, they're not sharks. They have a lot in common with whales, though. For example, they're massive like whales, and they feed more like whales than a typical shark. Whale sharks are the largest fish in the world. They can grow up to 40 feet long and weigh 20.6 tons. That's about the size of a school bus. A whale shark's mouth is about 5 feet wide. Divers often describe the experience of seeing one up close as surreal, with its massive, dappled body gliding silently through the blue like a moving island. The distinctive white spots and stripes across its back form a unique pattern. No two whale sharks share the same markings, making them as identifiable as human fingerprints. Scientists have tracked individuals migrating thousands of miles, sometimes crossing entire ocean basins in search of food-rich waters. Despite their size, they are gentle giants, allowing curious fish to swim alongside them and even letting diverse approach without showing aggression. In places like Ningaloo Reef in Australia or Isla Holbox in Mexico, seasonal gatherings of whale sharks draw researchers and tourists alike, turning these migrations into spectacular natural events. Underwater photographers often capture breathtaking shots of these behemoths surrounded by schools of smaller fish, all feeding together in harmony. There are still many mysteries about their behavior, like where they give birth, as no one has ever observed a whale shark nursery in the wild. Some scientists believe pregnant females retreat to deep, remote waters, keeping their young hidden from predators. These unanswered questions make every encounter not just exciting, but scientifically valuable. These sharks don't attack and tear apart their prey like many of their relatives. While they're meat-loving carnivores, whale sharks are filter feeders. They open their mouths, let the water come in, and their bodies filter out food and release the water and any debris back into the ocean. Plankton is their main food source, and they also eat shrimp, algae, and other marine plant material, sardines, anchovies, mackerels, squid, tuna, and albacore. They have rows of over 300 teeth, but as filter feeders, they don't use these teeth to eat. And as you can see, people love to swim with them. Whale sharks tend to like warmer areas and are found in tropical waters all over the world. Some have been spotted in cooler waters, such as those off the coast of New York. Most whale sharks are found in the Indian and Pacific Oceans and occasionally in the Atlantic. Number 6. Sixgill Surprise. A massive blunt-nosed sixgill shark was captured on video lurching toward a submarine that was filming it. The shark was about 20 feet long, nearly twice the size of the submersible. This beast put Jaws to shame. As it emerged from the inky darkness, the sub's lights revealed its scarred, prehistoric-looking skin, each mark telling a silent story of battles fought in the deep. Its massive head swayed slightly as it closed in, eyes reflecting the glow like two eerie lanterns in the abyss. The water around the sub seemed to vibrate with the slow, deliberate beats of its powerful tail. For a moment, the crew could only watch in stunned silence as the shark angled its head, almost as if inspecting the intruders in its realm. In the deep ocean where sunlight never reaches, such encounters are rare, and this one felt more like meeting a relic from a forgotten age. The crew knew that sixgill sharks often cruise the depths with a calm, calculated presence, but this one moved with a purpose that set everyone on edge. A few tense seconds stretched into what felt like minutes as the predator's broad snout and rows of dagger-like teeth hovered just feet from the glass. The sixgill shark is a genus of shark which is identified for the presence of one pair of extra gill slits and massive size. Found in the temperate and tropical deep water, the blunt-nosed sixgill shark can be discovered in the range of the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. But not much is known about the elusive blunt-nosed six-gill sharks since they live so deep in the ocean. They're considered a dominant predator of the deep-sea ecosystem, though they're not the largest shark species. That title goes to their extinct cousin, the Megalodon. They predate most dinosaurs. In the video, which was filmed on an expedition off the coast of the Bahamas, the female shark can be seen emerging from the depths of the ocean and charging towards the submarine, gnashing her pearly whites and giving them a wide-eyed look through the window. Still, the researchers were audibly wowed by the deep-sea creature, which they set out to find and attach satellite tags on during this expedition. This is a monster, one of the scientists says in the video. Number 5. Giant mouth sharks. Basking sharks are the second largest fish in the ocean, growing to a maximum length of 45 feet and weight of 10,000 pounds. As you can see, their mouths are huge. A human could easily swim into it. The sheer scale of their gaping jaws has led to centuries of maritime legends, with sailors once mistaking them for sea monsters capable of swallowing boats whole. Early explorers often reported eerie encounters, describing how the massive silhouettes would glide just beneath the waves, their dorsal fins slicing through the water like knives. Despite their size, basking sharks are slow, deliberate swimmers, moving with a calm grace that belies their intimidating appearance. In summer months, they can sometimes be seen traveling in small groups, following rich plankton blooms that stretch for miles across the ocean's surface. They occasionally breach the water in what scientists believe may be a form of communication or parasite removal, creating splashes large enough to rock nearby boats. Some researchers have tracked their migrations across entire oceans, revealing journeys of thousands of miles between feeding grounds. Remarkably, basking sharks will often allow boats to approach closely, seemingly unbothered by human presence, which has made them a favorite subject for wildlife photographers. Their peaceful nature has made them vulnerable to overfishing in the past, but conservation efforts in recent decades have helped populations slowly recover. Basking sharks filter up to 4 million pounds of water every hour while filter feeding. Basking sharks are one of 3 species of sharks that are filter feeders. Unlike the other 2 species of filter-feeding sharks, the basking shark cannot suck water through its mouth and must passively feed. They swim through the water, opening their large 3-foot mouth to collect plankton and longgill rakers, closing it occasionally to swallow and filter the plankton. Basking sharks are one of the ocean's most mysterious marine life. They're the world's second-largest fish, right after the whale shark. Despite being related to the great white and having a predatory look, they're a gentle mackerel shark that survives off planktonic life. Resembling predatory sharks in appearance, the basking shark can give an intimidating impression, but they're quite harmless. They spend most of their time near the surface, filtering out their preferred prey, but they may also make deeper feeding dives, swimming with their extraordinarily large mouths wide open. Number 4. Submarine Sandwich. A new behind-the-scenes video shows the terrifying moment when sharks attack a research crew of submersibles 2,000 feet below the surface. The crew was filming a group of six-gill sharks as they devoured a sperm whale carcass that had sunk to the ocean bottom. The eerie stillness of the deep sea was broken only by the muffled sound of the sharks' massive bodies colliding with the sub. Each thud reverberated through the metal hull, a low, bone-shaking rumble that made the crew exchange uneasy glances. Outside, the cold, pitch-black water seemed to magnify the predator's sheer size, their hulking silhouettes circling like shadowy submarines. Their small, light-reflective eyes glowed in the sub's lights, flashing past the windows like sinister beacons. The crew's cameras captured close-up shots of the shark's gaping jaws, rows of teeth glinting as they twisted and turned in slow, deliberate arcs. At one point, a shark's snout scraped across the glass, leaving a long, pale streak before it suddenly rammed forward again. Inside, one scientist gripped the armrest so tightly her knuckles turned white, while another nervously adjusted the lighting in hopes of reducing the shark's interest. In that tense moment, every creak of the sub's structure felt like a warning sign. Unfortunately for the crew, the sharks thought the submersible was a rival and began to aggressively but their heads against the sub's viewing window. As you can see in the video of the encounter, the pack of predators are not pleased by their uninvited dinner guest. In fact, the sharks, who are already seen aggressively biting and prowling each other to claim the best bits of decaying blubber, seemingly view the submarine as additional competition for the prized meat. That's when things get scary. Watch as the sharks slam into the sub's windows and hull, while the crew members inside become increasingly anxious about its structural integrity due to the blows and the enormous pressure at such a depth. At one point, one of the operators says, "The submarine is very strong, but they're so big and strong that I'm a little bit afraid. Thankfully for the crew, the sharks let up on their attack and resumed shredding the dead whale. Number 3. Shark hides in sand. Angel sharks are one of the weirdest marine animals. The shark has a flat body, it resembles a ray, and the flat body helps it hide itself in the sandy seafloor. They wait for prey to come. Whenever a fish or a lobster comes near it, the shark suddenly jumps out from the sand to catch the prey. Divers who have witnessed this ambush describe it as startlingly fast, almost like the ocean floor itself suddenly coming to life. Their camouflage is so effective that many swimmers have unknowingly passed right over one without realizing it. Angel sharks have been spotted lying still for hours, conserving energy until the perfect moment to strike. In some coastal regions, fishermen tell stories of accidentally hooking one while targeting other fish, only to be shocked by the sudden power of its pull. These sharks can also launch short bursts of speed to chase down an escaping fish, showing they're not purely passive hunters. Researchers studying their feeding habits have recorded slow-motion footage revealing how their jaws extend outward in a lightning-fast snap, creating a suction force that pulls prey straight in. They'll eat partially buried under the sediment like a flatfish and feed by ambushing prey, but are also surprisingly nimble and more than capable of chasing and hunting down fish. They'll feed on any fish they come across, and when hooked, the angel shark is a very strong fighter that can clamp its flat body to the seabed, making it very difficult to escape. The angel shark was a widespread species until well into the 20th century. Found around most of the British Isles, healthy populations were also found throughout the Mediterranean, the Black Sea, and much of the Northeast Atlantic. However, commercial fishing has led to a huge reduction in shark numbers. The angel shark's seabed-dwelling nature makes it particularly vulnerable to being caught by seabed trawling. The shark generally tries to avoid humans, as you can see, but it's not advisable to touch it. A bite can be painful. It has a strong jaw with sharp teeth. Number 2. Frilled shark. These sharks were first scientifically described by a German zoologist in the 1800s. His report describing the sharks noted that, though it could hardly on examination be taken for anything but a shark, its appearance in the forward portion of the body, particularly in the head, brings vividly to mind the triangular heads, deep cleft mouths, and fierce looks of many of our most dreaded snakes. Modern-day researchers have often remarked how seeing one alive feels like looking back in time millions of years, as if a relic of the dinosaur age is still patrolling the deep. Rare footage captured by deep-sea submersibles shows the frilled shark gliding slowly through pitch-black waters, its movements eerily serpentine. Some scientists believe its hunting technique involves lunging forward and swallowing prey whole in a sudden burst, much like a snake striking. Encounters with these creatures are so infrequent that every sighting becomes a major event in marine biology circles. Its diet is thought to consist largely of squid, but given its teeth and jaw structure, almost any smaller fish crossing its path could become a meal. The frilled shark's long, eel-like body allows it to maneuver in tight spaces along the ocean floor, making it a stealthy predator. Even though it dwells at extreme depths, often beyond 1,000 meters, it has occasionally been caught in fishing nets, usually near the surface when weakened or disoriented. Such rare captures have given scientists a closer look at its unique anatomy, but they also highlight how little we know about its life in the abyss. The frilled shark's mouth is lined with 25 rows of backward-facing, trident-shaped teeth, 300 in all. The teeth are constructed for grasping, and from their peculiar shape and sharpness, it would seem as if nothing that once came within their reach could escape them. The shark uses its bright white teeth to lure in prey, which sharply contrasts with its dark body. By the time the prey realizes it's game over, and as if its teeth weren't freaky enough, the frilled shark has spines lining its mouth. This sea monster's common name comes from its special gills. Unlike all other sharks, which have separate gills, this shark's first pair of gills go all the way across its throat. And as you can see, each pair is lined at the edges with a red fringe. This strange, prehistoric-looking shark spends much of its time in deep, dark waters far below the sea surface. Number 1. Alaskan salmon shark. You might think you wouldn't stand a chance of seeing any big sharks if you're far north in the Pacific. After all, big sharks live in warmer waters around places like Hawaii, Australia, and California, right? Wrong. In fact, the North Pacific in Alaska is home to plenty of large sharks. The most common is the salmon shark, named after its favorite prey. You guessed it, salmon. Local fishermen often tell stories of seeing their salmon catches vanish in a single bite as these apex predators strike with lightning speed. In summer, when salmon are running thick, The sharks patrol near river mouths, their dorsal fins slicing the surface like warning flags. Divers have occasionally reported feeling the hair-raising sensation of being shadowed by one, only to turn and glimpse the powerful silhouette just beyond visibility in the cold, green water. Marine biologists studying them have noted their surprising ability to regulate body temperature, allowing them to thrive in Alaska's icy seas. Some coastal residents claim to have seen unusually large specimens, possibly exceeding 10 feet, which fuels speculation that even bigger ones lurk farther offshore. Whether you're fishing or riding your electric surfboard, it's possible to have an encounter. You can come across salmon sharks almost anywhere in the North Pacific, whether you're close to shore or out in the open ocean. Salmon sharks do indeed eat a lot of salmon. In 1998, salmon sharks were responsible for eating up to a full quarter of the annual run of salmon in Prince William Sound. When they're not chowing down on salmon, however, they're like most sharks and will eat basically anything they can fit in their mouth. Attacks on humans by salmon sharks are possible because they're so large. Although salmon sharks are thought to be capable of injuring humans, attacks on humans have been reported. Reports of divers encountering salmon sharks have been given, but we still don't recommend trying to swim with them. Hopefully, you're not too nervous about taking a swim after watching these terrifying shark moments. Remember, sharks are generally not interested in eating humans, but you can count yourself lucky that others caught these jaw-dropping encounters on camera so you didn't have to. Which of these clips left you the most stunned? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video.